Hi. Okay, so basically, our entire premise of our study was to see if a healthy diet had any sort of positive or negative influence on a student's level of academic success. We were able to categorize people's healthy diets into four categories in terms of minimally health conscious to very health conscious. And the way that we did this is we sent out a survey to 64 students that were undergrads under the age of 26 but older than 17. 32 of those participants were female and 32 of those participants were male. In this survey, part one included different aspects of their health, how many times they had caffeine a week, how many times they ate fruits, vegetables, all that kind of stuff a week. We also asked them how they would rate themselves on how well they did the My Plate whenever they ate, which is basically just what nutritionists believe now is the best way to get everything that you need to be the healthiest form of yourself. From this information from the surveys is how we were able to place everyone in their categories. And inside those categories, we were also able to get all of the students' GPAs. We were able to do this in a separate section of the survey, which included all their demographic information. From this is how we were able to average all of those scores. As you can see in figure 1, where it shows the bar graph of average GPAs and the group means, they also have their standard deviation of error to see how big or farther it is in all the categories. This was our first piece of evidence that we were able to find in the first thing that we tested. From these average of GPAs, we ran a one-way ANOVA test to find the actual F value to find if our data was significant or not. And then from our one-way ANOVA test, we were able to do a HOC test, which allowed us to see which of the subcategories were actually significant. In the results, we found that a healthy diet and the persons who are more health conscious have better academic success, have a higher GPA on average than people with less. And then with this information in the POC test, we were able to see how some categories didn't have a significant effect in their data. For example, the minimally health conscious and the somewhat health conscious didn't have a significant error, didn't have any significant difference between the two, meaning that data wasn't significant and that wasn't accepted in our results. All of these F values can be seen in our table 1 on our one-way ANOVA results. A big part of our stuff was our conclusions and how in the beginning we theorized and talked about other theories that included a lot of children research, how kids work in younger grades from school lunches, TV time, sodas when they're controlled by their parents, but they get a little bit of freedom when they go to school. And a lot of those studies found that the same thing that we found, that the students who were overweight or were less health conscious, made less healthy decisions, did worse academically. So we can see that that trend follows through from early elementary all the way through undergraduate college level. So we believe that in order to have further research, it would be smart to not only just study undergraduate, but study undergraduates from different universities to see which universities could possibly help influence based on if universities had better cafeterias, lunch schedules, something like that. Another thing that we believe would be a good thing to do in the future is to have a section about health and how if anybody has any issues, any health problems, because sometimes that can affect your BMI results. Like persons with diabetes, it's going to fluctuate a little bit more whether or not they're health conscious or not. So BMI can't always be the exact reason why you verify health, which is why we try to include several different options to bring in our final results of the minimally, somewhat health conscious, and very health conscious. Within all of this, we were able to accept our hypothesis and reject the null hypothesis. considering that the p-value was less than 0.05 and our f-value was over 12. Within all of this, we were able to positively say that a healthy diet and a very health conscious lifestyle has a positive influence on academic success in your overall grade point average.